Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Team USA out of the gates.
There is that Ana that we talked about, and a lot of people don't think she's good in the meta, including most of Team USA, but as they said, Jaehong's Ana is a different kind of Ana.
Well, that's why he's playing it here. Not a lot of people give Ana love in this meta, but Jaehong here in the back, healing up his team. A nice bio nade, going to keep them up and healthy, letting them keep pressure in. And there it is, the first pick up by Saebilby. Takes down Sinatra and puts South Korea in a very good position here where they're simply dominating space.
It's not a great sign for the United States that they lost Sinatra very early and then just chose to bail. That was not even a fight that happened right there. They can't play that scared. Saebilby gets in there, takes down Matt.
Off that flank, Saebilby in hot pursuit. The sound barrier already used from South Korea, which gives them this fight very easily, Hex.
This fight is all but over. As Sinatra goes, so goes Team USA. It is the strategy they play around. They expect so much out of their phenom Tracer players.
Now he's going to back up just a bit, and Team USA, they activate the Valkyrie. This has to be their moment.
This is going to be their big advantage. They're running a Mercy and South Korea is not. That means they have 2 extra lives on here. Flower just dancing alone in the corner reminds me of prom, and he gets nothing out of it.
And then for Team USA, this is the fight they had to win, and it's a nice engagement. Adam set the tone with the Valkyrie, and they just dove right in. Dominant stuff from USA, and they're going to get their first control. And yet, the USA, they were able to disengage really well here. They're still very much in this fight, and Adam might be flying with the Valkyrie in just a moment.
Well, that is an Earth Shatter. It does knock down one, unable to get it down, but that is a huge kill onto Adam, who is going to have his wings clipped. No flight there, no resurrections. However, United States still in this fight.
And that is a blessing in disguise. Raucus with the pick from behind. Adam gets to save the Valkyrie now. He's going to have it for the next fight. Off the flank, being a distraction. Has to be careful not to die. He's not going to be able to res here, but Mono goes down early in this fight. There's no res for him. USA dominating. This could be the round.
It looks like it. There's a lot of red in the kill feed of the red, white, and blue as they continue to clean up. 99% and counting. And the United States will take first stage on Nepal.
The crowd here in this fully packed arena is loving it, Hex. This is the Overwatch World Cup, and Team USA, they will not be denied. They take this first round. South Korea, very much deathballing right now, taunting the US to move in, and they do get this first control.
They have to resurrect Sinatra, so that resurrection is down. Now they're fighting at even forces, though, but Flower will take down the Winston. One of his primary jobs is to shred through those tanks, and he does so with ease. And now South Korea piles on the kills. They will pile on percentage. United States needs to retreat.
We're going to go straight on to the point. They don't want to give the U.S. even a hope of getting on there with better positioning.
Barrage, could be a flanking barrage. I think he was looking for it right there. Didn't see what he wanted because he saw that the Ana who had his sleep dart lined up. Tank mode out, takes down a few, only resurrecting Matt. And again, resurrecting D-Mech Diva, not always the best choice.
A little bit scrappy here on the point between the two teams, but when the dust settles, South Korea still very much in control. 50% of the way the victory on this round is Flower just lets the Gatling gun fly. United States are going to have to clutch on the sound barrier here. Adam does get the barrier up. Hasn't used it here just yet. They're healing up Matt. They want to go in at full strength, but oh, Jake gets picked off. That is brutal. They might be able to res it up, and they are going to res it as they move in. The barrier's been dropped, but so far South Korea not too damaged. However, now this dive is moving forward.
Well, they are going to take down Flower, so that is a big problem out of the mix that they don't have to deal with. Zumba's got his grab. He does catch a bunch in it, and the pulse bomb comes in. Big bang. You can't res all that death.
That's a little bit too much, even for Raucus there, and now we're in overtime. South Korea, much more dominant in the stage. They had a game plan, they executed, they controlled space. We're going to round 3. And now, you look at South Korea, moving on to the point, prioritizing the point. Oh, goodbye! Moved it to the point!
Searching for that gold down there, apparently, as Fact Fiction able to pull Zumba off of the edge. That's usually the other way around. That is Roadhog's job. And they pile on by taking down Toby. The resurrection not going to be available. By all rights, this should be the United States fight.
And Hex, I gotta say, you know what helps prevent a resurrection? Dropping people into a pit of doom.
There's a lot of check marks there. Here comes the Tire out first. Resurrection might be used on Mano. It is right away. Tire trying to find something. Does not necessarily get what he's looking for. Now, both resurrections from this Valkyrie have been used, but the United States is stabilizing this fight.
And Jake's about to get the visor. This could be a full cleanup visor if it's even necessary here. United States hiding in the back. The bongos, the supercharger from Arisa, keeping them nice and pumped up. And it's going to be a reset for South Korea. All right, Sinatra off on the flank, the distraction, riding the line between life and death, trying to just distract a little bit more while the rest of the United States is off to the side, and they get Mano early on. A big pickoff from Sinatra. Come fly with me, as the United States is one more team fight away from taking this map.
Adam ended up using his Valkyrie there. I'm not sure it was necessary, but no reason to hold on to it. They will clean up, getting some staggering kills. It'd be great if they get this kill onto Toby. Sinatra goes deep, unable to finish it, but they do take down Jayhawk.
South Korea, they are out of time. Toby gets picked off. That is massive. Now, South Korea, they have to get on the point with less people. Sinatra diving deep, so deep right now, they can't even reset. 3% left. Can anyone even touch this point? Sableby, doesn't get there. The United States takes map 1. Too long, but so far, he has been uncontested in the USA. They're just hiding for cover.
There's a lot of cover on this map too, and that is a couple of huge kills. Cool Matt decides he does not want the Farah. He wants the Mercy instead. Flower lucky to get out with his life. Targets boost is up. We'll see which target this goes on for Jayhawk.
Sinatra goes down early, and I don't think he's in a very resible position. No, Adam goes for it anyways. He's back up, and he gets Toby back off the flank, and the United States might very well hold here once more.
The small downside from that is that Adam didn't feel comfortable going in just for the resurrection. He wanted the Valkyrie resurrection to give himself a little more survivability. Just chucking mines at him from below, but Jake has got himself in a really rough position now. He is close to death, will fly away, grab on the point, but they're not cleaning it up.
The Transcendent says, we're gonna be fine. They get Toby, and Mano, though, drops the hammer. South Korea still fighting, still trying to turn this, but you see, Matt, when the last one's remaining here, how long can he delay? Jake is gonna go down. South Korea, they might have cracked this.
Jake was trying to get the pressure onto the Farah. That is one of his jobs as a Junkrat, even though it seems a little bit against what he is best at. A pretty solid defense overall. They will finally clean up and get back onto this point, making them use of ultimates in the way to do so. Do they want to come back here? They've got reses. Here comes Matt.
They're coming back in. They're not giving South Korea anything for free. It's a bold plan, but Jake, barrage over the top. Flower gives his life for it. The United States very well could bring this back. However, with the resurrection coming in from Toby, they've at least made South Korea invest the Valkyrie, but that should now be South Korea's point.
That was 100% worth it, in my opinion, to come back, because if they don't invest the Valkyrie, they might lose the fight, and now you flipped the ultimate advantage, most importantly, the support ultimate advantage in your favor. Adam sitting at 78%, Toby at 0. It can be. I'm going to be interested to see where the United States wants to hold, if they're going to try to hold high ground or do a door pressure kind of hold. It's sent all the way down. That is an enormous pulse bomb. Adam out of this fight, and usually when that happens in this current patch, the fight is over.
Sableby striking deep into the backline, and now South Korea is getting some badly needed momentum. They have to make up for lost time here.
Cut over top, just saw him peeking around the ledge, forces Adam to burn the res. The Valkyrie is out, Blade is out in answer.
Blade is out. Flower just going to get pushed back a bit. United States deathballing it here up top. The Blade, it's put away, and the United States is coming in off the flank. Zumba off the fight already, and it is very close here in the point. But you see Adam, Valkyrie is in progress. He's healing everyone up over the top, and Angels are flying all around as Toby takes the skies as well.
That's the second resurrection used from Adam, though, meaning that the United States has no more free lives, no more one-ups, while Toby does. They're able to draw this fight out long enough that they're able to take the advantage here. And despite the stall-out tactics on the cart, South Korea continues their onslaught.
They're moving it forward, and this castle door might be broken down again. I saw this earlier today, the cinematic, and, well, just might be heading this way. As South Korea, they're going to take point B. They're going to knock down that door, and Flower hits a brick wall, and Cool Matt goes a little bit too deep. They don't have many pushes here into the castle, but here they go.
I like the switch from Sinatra to go onto the Zarya too. It is one of his best heroes. He gets Gravitons up like no one's business. Blade comes through from Flower, but largely negated with the Transcendence. Only gets one kill. And Adam will bring Sinatra back to life. Now Everin brought back to life, but there goes Adam.
We got reses on both ends. The support ultimates are now out of it, but the United States is controlling space very well right now. Matt pushing South Korea back. They have to give up some room, and now the tire from the side. Both your supports are gone. This should signal an end to this push.
Well, it's nice, but it's a little bit late. There's still some bodies alive from Korea on the carts, and even though they lost both their supports, that cart can be a decent source of healing as well that you would think Adam has. Toby's done a great job of getting his Valkyrie up as well.
All right, well, South Korea taking another crack at this here. They almost have the Transcendence up. Zumba goes down early. Fact gives his life for the pressure, but is brought back up as the United States. They sense weakness. They move right over.
finally, Jake puts an end to Sabiovi's 20-player kill streak, which is nearly unheard of, even with resurrections. Back to Jake, will just camp right outside the door.
The USA defend this castle. Sinatra holding in the back. Graviton not quite ready yet. The gauge is early. Now he drops the grab immediately. South Korea have a hug. Hug your neighbor. The self-destruct from the back. 2 quick kills from the United States. But South Korea, they're going to transcend and still fight this, Hex.
Transcend out on both sides as they look awkwardly at each other. Here comes the Valkyrie undoing all of that Graviton work. Team's at full force now, and Flower dashes through, cutting up the supports. South Korea continues to push it overtime.
Toby turning the tides, the double resurrection. South Korea endures the Graviton, and now Zumba might have the victory Graviton of his own. Still very much alive. The United States getting staggered. We're in overtime, Hex, but it doesn't matter if Zumba lands a great grab here.
They could get locked in the doorway here depending on where this grab wants to go. It's one of the only ultimates on the field. Adam nearing his own Valkyrie again. Sinatra just used that grab at 66%. If this drags on, he could have his own grab.
All right, Zumba, the man of the hour, drops the Graviton, gets the Team USA tanks in it. Is the follow through going to be there? Matt, damaged, but not dead yet. Able to back out to a safer spot as the pilot Diva. And now, both teams looking to contest the card. It's delayed from the United States. Sinatra not going to get a grab because he's blown right up. Resurrection, though, from Adam in progress. Both tanks back into the fray. The Angel of Mercy has given the United States a chance to delay this out a little bit more.
Flower looking for a little bit, not finding everything he wants, but Sinatra dies for about the 3rd time in the last 10 seconds as they continue to push. It is all South Korea in that kill feed. The United States looking for a miracle they will not find. Korea finishes out Eichenwald in overtime.
No early pickup here, though, just yet. South Korea is still enduring.
Taking a nap is Jake. He will get cleaned up and forcing out the resurrection. Flower takes down Cool Matt on the other side of things. Jake just gonna hoof it out of there. They decide to back up a little bit. Adam
off of the sleep dart, that created what was the opportunity. However, Sabiovi taken down immediately here. This could hurt.
It should force out the resurrection. You wanted your Tracer in here. Jake is going to use this tire to try to get the Mercy, and he does. Toby down, no resurrection on the table. Swing back coming from South Korea, though.
But there's Adam. Both heroes coming back up into the fray. A clear numbers advantage for the United States. They got the Mercy. South Korea didn't. And now this might be leading to a first point capture, as it might be all cleanup from here.
Jake's just gonna fly to the skies, take the upper echelon there, and be able to take down 2. They clean up, will attack first point with 2 minutes left on the clock. Fact Fiction and Cool Matt are doing a really interesting job of just scouting the high ground without committing to it. But wow, Mano sees an opening and just leaps onto Adam. They will commit a tactical visor to this as well, just to ensure that this fight is over. It's the name of the game so far. We do have both Mercies with their ultimates up. Jake a little too big for his britches. Feeds them a mine, but gives his life up for it. Meanwhile, both teams have used a single res. Here comes a big tire.
Well, tire's one good way of making run scatter, but not quick enough. Able to take down Jaehong there. And of course, he's going to get brought right back up. Still, it gives the United States a bit of an edge of momentum as Jake on anti-air mercy duty, as it were. Junkrat over the top. Sabiovi, he's out of there. And the United States now working with a definitive advantage.
The Junkrat buffs have made him absolutely a terror for Tracers. His second concussion mine always at the ready, able to do so much burst damage. I think Tracer's death rate in the last season went up by a magnitude, and a lot of that is due to the Junkrat play. United States pushing very well here. Some stall-out tactics with the Primal Rage on the card, but eventually you think the US should be able to push. One more fight will happen outside of the gate.
United States, they're not quite to point B here just yet. Plenty of options for South Korea, Hex. You take a look at the Transcends. That alone, if they use it correctly, could give themselves a big advantage. United States can counter with it, but we'll see what South Korea does on this engage.
Well, Sinatra trying to get some poke and has to be very careful. The self-destruct will come up over the back, does not catch anyone, but Zuma's now got pressure on the cart.
Pressure is on the cart. The Transcends out from South Korea, but they don't get any kills after using that there. But somewhat evened here. Flower off on his lonesome here to the back, trying to go for poke damage. Now pressured by Jake, knocked into the air. And it's a bit of a stalemate there, but the rest of the fight is going on in the payload. They're gonna demech Zumba, and the United States, they are clearing the space they need.
What South Korea was trying to do there with the self-destruct, and then you saw later with Flower on the high ground, they wanted the self-destruct to let the United States retreat to the back so that Flower could have a shooting gallery. The United States instead pushed forward, dropped a shield, and that plan went for nothing. A draw or another attempt from them. On the next side of things, the South Korea did finish this map. Now here comes a tire, but so huge. Will take down Mano. Insta-res on Jake, who gave his life for it. Straight out that pulse bomb.
Meanwhile, the Fact Fiction going deep, still has Primal Rage and doesn't need to use it here. Gets healed up. This is very big for the next fight. And this is the danger zone for South Korea, because if they don't win this next fight, the United States will almost certainly be taking Nike-Ball.
This is great for Fact. He's got Primal Rage. It's a closeout ultimate. He can play bouncer at the door. He pops it and just keeps punching them in there. He chooses to hold it for now, maybe using it as a survival tactic. Jake kills Toby. That's enormous.
That is huge. It can't be any bigger. Jake off the triple kill, clearing the way for USA. The Fallen being rezzed up by Adam. They're so close right now. Adam in Valkyrie state, hovering above, bringing up the Fallen, healing those who that need healing, and now the United States, they're keeping the pressure on right now in this key moment.
They need to kill Toby. Toby is too close to Valkyrie. In fact, falls himself into a trap. Tries to go get healed. He does not. There are no resurrections available. United States needed to close out that fight faster. They did not. They allowed Toby to get back to life.
2 seconds, 1 second. Is anyone there? Overtime, it's in progress, but I don't think many people are left here to actually keep this going, as South Korea taking down player after player. Coolmat tries to buy some room, and Adam's there, gets the res. Don't know if Coolmat's gonna be able to get back into the mech though. He does, but just as quickly it goes down. It's Valiant stall coming out here for the United States, but it's all over here, as South Korea's will even up the series 1-1.
The shield is going to be something that is always going to be a problem unless you're throwing a world of damage into it. You need to contain those small windows when it's down, because its cooldown is so low. Yobi again has been a terror. However, taking down Toby means that this offense has a huge window to be able to push now.
And Jake, he's going over the top. He's sacrificing his body for the cause, trying to break this South Korean defense, which is still very well organized here at the top, but Zumba's going to go down. Jake gets his men, and this might be a quick first point capture indeed.
Sabiobi did the best that he could, got a couple of kills on his own, but again, once I mentioned, you take down Toby, then the resurrection, which is essentially your reinforced mechanic on the defense, unable to do it.
Jake right now moving in, and here comes Riptire. This could break this wide open for the US, looking for anything, and uses it to demech Zumba. Zumba's out of the mech, and now Team USA has to move to capitalize on this.
That makes a lot of the damage is going to be able to come through as they try to remech. That is a huge pulse bomb, takes out Sinatra, takes down Toby. The United States rolling through here on Hanamura.
This is absolute insanity. They have cut through the South Korean defense like it wasn't there at all. Jake has had himself around. 2 ticks already for the United States. Jayhawk has to come out with the emergency transcendence to buy South Korea some time. Toby now flying in, a resurrection, but is it going to be enough?
Toby goes down again, and right after the resurrection, he gets no more percentage charge on his Valkyrie, which is so important. United States dominating the kill feed. There's simply an ice block on Mano. Man's not hot. He is down. United States will take last points.
Flower right now, this is a good perch. Doesn't have too many shields to worry about. Coolmat already demeched. This is a decent opening here from South Korea, but Jake takes the hope away on the soldier. Not even the jump grab this time.
Jake doing a lot of work. Sinatra now brought back into the mix too, but
oh my goodness!
Decides that he is going to be the anti-mercy, takes down both the resurrected heroes.
And this is why Flower is so good. We know we can play just about any hero, and his Widowmaker right now, keeping South Korea in this fight. However, resurrections are in. United States respawns are coming back. This has been a brawl, but you gotta think South Korea is going to take advantage of this in just a moment.
Yeah, it took a little bit, but just another plump right to the dome of Jake, and that Flower is poisonous.
This Flower is definitely no rose. Oh my goodness! Grab Sinatra, somebody stop this man! Everything is going South Korea's way. United States, at some point, you have to consider, do you go to a different shield tank here? Because Winston is not providing them cover, as Jake basically cut down by Flower. Jayhong had the support, but now they have created a great opportunity as Flower locks himself into position.
And this is the pressure put to the defense. Do you send someone up to deal with Flower? Do you fight on the point? You can't leave Flower alone up there. They are going to try to dive him. It's only a Winston so far, but his team comes back to support him. They know where their bread is buttered.
Well, there's bread getting buttered, but finally Flower getting taken down. USA says, please stop, no more. But will it be enough? Jayhong says, no, this is still our fight. We're going to move into Transcendence. Toby healing in the back, still very much alive. Space being made by Mano here on the point. And South Korea still very much could take this here.
Well, Toby is out of the fight now, and Adam at 93% and counting on his Valkyrie should be able to bring people back to life. It hasn't been clean enough, but here comes Mano punching people down as Adam falls in that fight. Waits for him, and now that's the corner combo as Raucus falls.
1,000 IQ corner combos. Is this a fighting game? He set that up looking for the corner trap and got it. However, the United States has respawns coming in, and they should get a breather here to reset and regroup.
South Korea will hold on to at least 33%. That's what we talk about. Adam falls to Flower. They've had no good answer to this man.
That is the best pickoff they could get. The pressure is coming back in. South Korea says, we are going to take this point. Another 2 pickoffs. It's 3-on-6 right now as Jake goes, what have I got myself into? Winston on one side, a Widow in the back, and South Korea should be getting on this point in just a moment, but Adam is back in the fight and flying.
They're doing such a brilliant job of playing around Flower, though. He's got a Winston there to keep him safe from the Genji. Adam has brought back a couple back to life, but now they have to make this commitment, and that commitment shot out of the sky.
When you look at a Widow and you say, Widow, please never swap. That's far right now, but he's under pressure. The Genji coming in from the back, but he shakes it, uses the grappling hook, gets out of sight, and South Korea just half a tick away from bringing us to extra rounds.
Adam down again. There comes a pulse bomb as well. It is all South Korea in the kill feed. Now no one is up who's going to be able to pressure Flower, and Flower takes advantage. Another block onto Jake. Oh my goodness.
Isn't just hitting fact over and over again. However, he got Primal Rage up. He can use it here if he feels under threat.
Valkyrie has been used, and they will double down and use Transcendence at the exact same time. Usually not a good sign. Toby will resurrect, but now the United States, knowing that they just burned several ultimates, tries to take the fight to South Korea.
And the United States, even though they've had to give up ground to the point, the United States backing out, more than willing to give up a little bit of room here, and Jaehan gets picked off. That's big. It forces out the res, and Matt gets Toby. He punishes him for that resurrection.
Toby out of position, and they knew exactly where he was going to be coming to. When you pick off a high-value target like that, you can almost guarantee the res will come shortly after. Still extremely back and forth from the United States and South Korea as they fight over this point, but Adam uses his Resident Sinatra. Adam, if he can stay alive through this next fight, will have Valkyrie for the final fight.
Jake, he has the visor in the back. He's going to have it for what very well could be the final fight of this, but Raucus, he's blown up. Adam has to res, but it's a safe position. He's not in danger. Jake taken down immediately. That is huge. Adam, though, has used the Valkyrie, will bring Jake back up. Jake is without visor, though. The visor, it's gone. And here comes Flower, the blade. Long have we waited, looking for anything right now, and taken down by Sinatra.
He's brought back to life, of course, bladeless as well. This is a brawl on the point as it is now down to about a 3v3, fighting it out. Flower will get the dash resets, will come and cut through, and yet again, a great example of patience from this South Korean team as they waited till the last second to resurrect, waited till other ults were out to use Blade, and now they are finding what they need here. They should be able to capture point.
Moving around here to the top, has Pulse Bomb, just looking for the early pickoff, and that's a really good target there. To the back, it sticks! Goodbye, Raucus! You're coming back up, but the damage has been done. Gets backed. South Korea being surgical here as they are not giving up without a fight. The U.S. pushed to the limit. Adam is down. This could be a second point take by South Korea in extra rounds.
Mano just punched the life out of the United States. He took down both supports with Primal Rage. It is all South Korea in the kill feed. Back going to try to come out here and stall, but they're going to do their best to cut him off. And in that short period of time, their last push, South Korea finishes Hanamura for the second time.
And now they're focusing on Mano, but Mano's able to leap right out. This has been a chess game between these two teams.
It's just trying to get the other team out of position so that your mechanics can shine through. Both these teams both so mechanically gifted that it's as well as like a beautiful stick onto Flower. He is resurrected immediately, but there's not enough reses for the South Korea team. US has a man advantage.
They have a man advantage. They are putting South Korea in check, that much is for sure. Jake in the corner, uses attack visor, health station, keeping him up, looking for the final few kills, and he's gonna get them as the United States well on their way to taking point A.
I praise the patience of South Korea coming in there. Yeah, they're using the Transcendence. They should be going.
Well, we talked about chess here, and this is the checkmate position for a soldier. On the top, a tack visor. Oh, the deep in your face. No, that's not checkmate at all. That's just doom.
That's what I do when I get checkmate. I just flip the board over and say we're playing checkers instead now.
Well, Diva's flipping the board, but the U.S. is still in here. The tanks of the United States, they make the room required. And can the United States get back in here? They're doing everything they can. Sinatra running amok, and South Korea is still very much in a tough position as player after player is getting taken down.
They've gotten Toby several times now. Adam comes in with his Valkyrie, the blade out from Flower, but it's going right into support. Ultimates gets a couple, but Adam brings Raucus back to life.
And Jake there at the Helix Rocket shuts down the Dragon Blade. It is back and forth. It is a top-class prize match right now. Both teams giving their all into the point, and yet South Korea hasn't given up a tick here. This has been masterful delay where the United States, they feel like they're getting something. They've been getting kills, but they haven't been getting progress.
They've just not had the people on the point to get progress, so no one is around and alive. Flower has swapped over to the Bastion, but Jake with a masterful pick on Toby as he comes in to try to bring this team back to life. As you mentioned, though, still not a permanent progress marker for the United States.
And this is a case where, again, that Sableby goes down to the Helix Rocket. The United States burning the Transcendence, dominating space on the point, but South Korea always has one person on here. It's always contested. Zumba rezzed back up, and still yet a tick has been given in this fight, which has not ended and has actually been very, very good for South Korea.
Sinatra still in here, will finally fall. I feel that South Korea is playing a different game than we are. Sinatra's gonna throw that pulse bomb. We'll get one resurrection out of Toby, so now the United States knows they have a small window in which their damage will matter.
Flower right now under pressure. Fax getting in there and getting right out of there, courtesy of that Gatling gun on Bastion. Transcendence keeping everyone on the South Korean side well alive. And Flower, he's not done yet. It's Winston season, and no, doesn't quite finish.
Trying to get Jake on the high ground, but that's exactly what South Korea knows where he wants to be. They're trying to deal with this Bastion. Jake finds an angle, and they will eventually take down Flower. Toby will res him and Mano. However, it's this time with Adam who has the resurrection advantage.
Adam, Valkyrie in progress. They take Flower down again. This time he's not being put back together. Jake sends his blood in the water. The tack visor is up. He has you in his sights. The United States trying to finish this one out strong as time is expiring. We're in overtime. Let's see where this ends.
They got one tick, they got two. They are counting up. It looks like the United States is on the way to closing out Hanamura here. Jaehong off the mercy, just desperation. Ana onto the points. They're trying to find anything here. United States just looking to close this out.
And they might be doing just that. Sinatra, 2 critical kills. The United States has finished off Hanamura. My word here, Hex. But you got to think that they're going to be a little bit more aggressive when they realize that, hey, Flower's on the Genji, but they might not have the chance. South Korea blitzes right in. What a sleep dart.
The Ana Lucio combination comes right in, but that means that death is permanent as Jaehong will fall to the pulse pistols of Sinatra. Now even up though as Adam falls as well. The United States getting some trades here. This one is a bloodbath back and forth. Both teams fighting in a very strange spot of this map.
All right, Flower the Widowmaker. It began with this. Why not end with it? Raucus, though, gets Jaehong early on. A massive pickoff here for South Korea, but Flower strikes right back. Helix rocket back, under pressure. Jake, 4 HP, doesn't quite finish it, and Jake gets the kill. In it matters most. The United States on the verge of a first-point hold.
Jake just peekaboos around the corner, finishes off Flower. The United States will hold on first points.
The United States, they might only have one good crack at this. That's why they're moving the speed here. Moving off to the right. They want to give Jake some room to work with. South Korea diving in immediately, contesting them from getting what they want. But instead, Zumba's demech. Zumba's out of the fight. He is brought back up, but the res now on cooldown as Jake is in a very good position. Let's see if he can capitalize on it as he's looking for Toby.
He's brought back up his baby diva though, so that is not the greatest resurrection. They might even bring back Matt because why not? They will do that. They jump off the roof. Helix rocket still so tense right now. The next couple kills with resurrections burned are going to be the most important ones. Flower down.
Adam almost has Valkyrie up. This is huge. He's built it up in one fight. Adam flying to save the day. Way more healing for the United States. An extra resurrection. The tack visor now in play. The United States on the verge of taking Hanamura away from South Korea. But Toby, he is taken down in the end. Matt finds him. This is big.
Toby did get a resurrection off before he died. Adam brings back Raucus. There comes the pulse bomb. Self-destruct will annihilate Raucus as well. But there's only a few bodies left for South Korea on the point. But Sabyoma takes down Adam and Sinatra.
What a hero play from the Tracer of South Korea. Flower to the barrage over the top. Could this be a draw? It is. South Korea defends. Are you kidding me? We're way back near the server room, and I think we might have just gotten our answer.
The answer always comes from the tanks if they do drop down to try to contest this, and that is one tank down, and Zumba with the cleanup will fall down onto Adam, following up the damage from his Winston there early on, and that should be the go signal for the rest of the team to come clean up, because without that healing, without resurrection, United States in a bad spot here. Now again, the dive comes in up over the top. Jake falls yet again. Adam should be rezzing and does just that.
Well, Resurrection's in play, but you can't res that. Self-destruct, taking down both Adam and Jake, as Zumba says, by the way, I'm also here for almost as long as I can remember.
Well, Adam used the Valkyrie, as did Toby, so some of these lives will be brought back up to life. Matt in an odd position does. Oh! Flower peeks around the corner, and he is wilted.
We like to say check your corners, but not when there's an exploding mech right there. That's a time, don't check your corners. However, Toby is there to right the mistake, brings Flower back up, and South Korea is controlling the objective. The United States, they're getting kills here and there, but they're not getting the progress they need to actually make it meaningful. Shades of Hanamura last round.
Yeah, it's not enough. I feel that right there was a little bit of a miscommunication, whereas it looked...
Perhaps the final fight here for the United States against this ironclad South Korean defense, and it's all hands on deck. Transcendence and Valkyrie used by the United States. They're trying to dominate control here in and around the point. South Korea getting whittled down. Toby is out of the fight, and the United States might just be cracking point A.
And Toby needed to stay alive there. Both his DPS needed resurrections that he was unable to provide. And at the last second here, the United States will take for his point. They will res up. Toby, the angel of patience here, waited to the last second to use that Valkyrie, and he's trying to give his team an advantage here. Self-destruct comes over top. That should buy some time. A blade comes in, but a beautiful response from Raucus with the Transcend. I mean, none of that really matters. Both teams continue to lose and revive their own players.
If you're South Korea, you're very happy with this. Maybe not so much now, as this is now really starting to go the way of the US, but they still have been delaying the payload this entire time. They bought plenty of time, even in back and forth fights. And the United States, they still don't necessarily have this, as there will be another wave of respawns for South Korea.
The spawns are much closer, and more importantly, Adam went down during that fight. So that is why they're not going to have the healing. Here comes a surprise Bastion. Actually, Winston punching Bastion, not what you want to be doing in this situation.
No, he's pretty resistant to punches. He's anchored into the ground. Sinatra brought back up, but South Korea has gotten a full wave of respawns back in. They got to get on the point. Zumba gets there just in time, sacrifices the map. Toby brings up the fall, and South Korea dominating space on the point here once more. And Jayhawk, that could be a victory. Transcendence here, Hex, as the United States so close, yet so far. What a hold by South Korea.
Flower looking to get the right position, and already Widow can be so effective without firing a shot. That shot's also effective when you hit headshots, but everyone has to play in spots they are not used to. Jake's gonna try to find this hook, or at least try to deter Flower from sitting exactly where he wants.
Oh, I got him! Oh no, for Adam! A beautiful play by Flower, catches him on the social margins, and he is going absolutely insane, crushing the United States team. Yeah, you earned it. Looking for an opportunity, was hoping to get Matt when he went pilot mode, but Fact Fiction out of the fight. Flower under pressure. Matt has said enough is enough. Missiles to the face, but, well, Flower's come the bargain. He's coming right back up, and Matt is not going to get away.
Yeah, Matt had to dive deep to get that kill, and Flower will punish for that. Now here comes Winston late to the party, but he realizes he wasn't there on time to protect his diva, and Flower continues to just click heads.
And it's not as if the United States aren't trying to pressure Flower. Matt invested a lot into that. Didn't really matter. He was well supported, punished him for the attempt, and the United States, they are in disarray as that red box of victory for South Korea is oh so close.
Flower is still looking for more over top. They've had to use Primal Rage just to try to get some pressure on him. The whole hog comes out with no real great target in mind for it. As they continue to push, the Pulse Bomb will make them use a resurrection. Everyone is dropping like flies on the United States as Flower continues to pick people off.
Absolutely brilliant gameplay here from South Korea, crushing the United States off the back of Flower. This is going to put them in a victory position here, Hex, as they take Watch Point Gibraltar. Widow, Genji, now he takes to the skies as everyone's favorite Rocket Queen, and he strikes, gets Jake and Raucus immediately, devastating from South Korea.
Adam has to come in to try to resurrect Jake. He does just that, but pays for it as there is a welcoming party of an angry scientist gorilla. They say they've got to deal with Flower here, but it's only Jake. He has to be discorded constantly for them to have a chance to take down Flower.
Flower right now, sitting pretty in the air, not a lot of pressure on him. all the rockets he wants to shoot, he can shoot. No one is trying to contest him. But on the ground, Matt takes down Jae Hong. The United States is trying to win this on the ground war, but they've lost Adam early on here, and Flower still says, I'm still here, you're not shooting me, goodbye.
You have to hit 2 rockets in a row in these situations. Hits 1, Flower will get healed out of that. 2 rockets have to happen. Meanwhile, South Korea crushing the ground.
Flower takes down Jake, and he wasn't even looking at Jake for part of that. He goes, oh, well, that's a reset, but it will be in the back. The distraction once more, but I don't even think he's a real distraction here. I think it's still Flower in the air as Jake takes him down, but we got an extra life. He's back in it. He still has the barrage at the ready. The sound barrier is in. And while the Sky War is going down, Sableby is just darting around on the bottom, harassing Team USA. It's close, but Flower got his revenge on Jake, and South Korea is still very much in control. United States still in control, but Raucus now exposed. Doesn't have the Transcendence, but doesn't need it! A kick to the face, and the United States still very much in control.
Who needs Transcendent being and healing when you have a boot to the face available? Some Sky Wars will happen, but the ground war will happen at the same time. We'll see which Farah can chime in here.
Jake right now, hiding in the back, needs a little bit of heals, but Adam's down. His lifeline is gone, and oh no, death on all sides for Jake. Tries to avoid it and ends up running to a Tracer on the bottom as South Korea now well on their way to taking this point, but this is the city center, Hex. You can delay for a very long time.
Well, South Korea lost their own mercy as well. Jae Hong fell shortly after Adam did, so no great healing here, and I would say the United States should be able to hold on to this for a second.
Fact Fiction was almost dead, 20 HP, got healed up just in the nick of time. And now he's gone. A little bit over aggressive, but he's going to get brought back into the fight. We are fully in overtime here. South Korea drops the barrier. Back and forth between both teams at full strength. And this has been absolutely nuts, but Jake falls to Flower. That is absolutely crucial for South Korea.
Adam will bring him back up because he's got his Valkyrie going as South Korea continues to pile on the kills that are simply erased by the mercy in the sky, but the United States has to get kills of their own if they want to be able to hold this point. Adam will fall. South Korea will take the point. As Jake got himself in a chase position onto Flower, the tanks came up, the supports came up, everyone focused down Jake.
He'll be right now. Look at those moves, able to stay alive. Fancy skating, Raucus falls early, that can't be any bigger. South Korea, they're well on the way to winning this fight and buying another 10 to 15%, not 20.
I wonder if that's just a reset or a knock off the edge as Matt now out of this fight, out of his mech as well.
For us and stay in this. South Korea answering the engagement with the sound barrier, pushing back into the United States. Jake falling in Farah, and Flower says, I'm gonna make it rain. Drops the barrage, removes Raucus from the fight, and styles on Jake.
They've done such a great job of killing someone, then waiting for the mercy to come in.
Hasn't used the Valkyrie yet, holding it in reserve. Flower versus Jake. In on the top, he's getting isolated, but he's still up, and Raucus is picked! This could be it for South Korea, taking down the United States.
Jae Hong has popped his Valkyrie preemptively, so anyone who dies will be brought back to life immediately. Desperation time for the US as they pop ults just to try to stay alive here. South Korea still in full fighting form as Flower continues to rain down rockets.
And it's almost all but over right now. South Korea just a little bit away. The United States fighting, desperately trying to hold on. A little bit of delay here from Fact Fiction, but he's taken down. Overtime ticks away, and South Korea, you're going to the semifinals.
A valiant effort from the red, white, and blue of the USA team. They played so well all the way through the qualifiers. The team with maybe the best chance to take down South Korea gave it their best, came up just a little bit short, but there's nothing to be ashamed of. It's the best team in the world at this World Cup, South Korea, and the United States gave them all they could handle.
They gave them all they could handle. They put on a show, but in the end, the experience of the South Korean team, the insane mechanical skill from players like Flower, was able to win out in the end. But I gotta say, what a show.